Let's go straight to Shadow Cabinet Secretary Andrew Wallace now. Andrew, good to see you. What do you make of the Prime Minister and Chris Bowen out there today with all these tricky figures, all the while actually avoiding the elephant in the room? One, what will this cost us? And two, how much will our power bills come down under this 2035 target?
Well, Danica, you'll have to excuse me for the big smile on my face, but I can just see Chris Bowen saying, oh, you're not going to get me on that one again. I'm not going to talk about how his policies are going to reduce power prices. 97 times they told Australians in the lead up to the 22 election that they were going to see a $275 price reduction in their power prices, and we're paying $1,300 more. So he wasn't going to have his little feet on the sticky paper, I can assure you of that. But look, what happened over the last couple of days, what happened yesterday, we saw an uncosted, basically a fantasy on the part of the Labor Party. You know, they have emissions reduction has not altered one bit. They have flatlined since the coalition lost government. So the government has been spending billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they haven't altered the dial. That is the reality, and Australians are paying through the nose for power, while fat cats and multinationals are getting richer.
No, look, you're absolutely correct, and you're right. The minister in charge today, he didn't want to answer the questions. He, heard a noise apparently and even scurried off. I mean, that's how much he cares about the energy future in this country, and all the while we're going broken backwards because of it. Look, I just want to ask you about the Prime Minister's failure to secure a treaty with Papua New Guinea. This comes after China has urged PNG not to sign any bilateral treaty that, quote, prevents a sovereign country from cooperating with a third party. But, Andrew, this was the second Pacific security agreement with Australia to have collapsed while the Prime Minister spent the last week over there. Yeah. Could anything have been done, in your view, to actually have gotten these agreements over the line? Could more have been done?
Well, look, the coalition absolutely support these types of bilateral security arrangements between Australia and our Pacific Island friends. We want to see these arrangements and agreements succeed. But the reality is the government, their spin units were out there talking about how the defence arrangement between Australia and Papua New Guinea this week was, done and dusted, and it was great. It was going to be signed off by the Prime Minister. Last week it was a similar security arrangement with Australia and Vanuatu worth $500 million. Problem is, they hadn't actually been signed yet. Now, anybody who has been in business would know that you don't spruik about something until the deal is done, until the ink has dried. And the Labor Party have demonstrated once again that they are all talk and no action in relation to foreign policy. Can you imagine what Penny Wong would have said, what the Prime Minister, what Anthony Albanese, what he would have said if the shoe was on the other foot, if we had have come out there and made these, grandiose announcements and yet come back empty-handed? We would have had, egg on our face, and that's exactly what the Prime Minister and Penny Wong have got now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, can you imagine the carry-on? But, yeah, he's gone over there, was meant to sign at least 2 of these deals and has come back empty-handed. I just find it extraordinary. Andrew, before we let you go tonight, where are you joining us from?
I am at the Caloundra RSL at the Function Centre. We are celebrating Fisher's Night of Nights tonight. We've got a sellout crowd, 330 local constituents here. We've got Chris Cobb warming up in the background. I don't know if you can hear him. And we're going to have an absolutely fantastic night celebrating the community of Fisher and the great place it is to work, rest and play.
Oh, how good's that? Well, it looks like it's going to be a wonderful night ahead. Andrew Wallace, always appreciate your time. Thanks so much, as always, for joining me on the show.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.